So exams are coming up, and I would just like to review how to create a quiz, but more importantly, an automatically marked quiz using Google Forms. Now, the first thing we want to do is create the actual quiz. So as a teacher, I am in the Google Classroom. You would think you would create a quiz assignment. Maybe you can, but I prefer to use the Google Drive. So I'm going to go into the Google Drive, and then I'm going to create my form, my Google form here. Now, maybe you'd want to create a folder, and all your work will go within that folder. So in that folder, now I can create my form. And I can create a blank one, or I can create one from template. I'll go with the blank form. And you type heading fit, um, subject, and whatever instructions. Then we're going to type our questions, and there are different types of questions you can select. So the most important one, though, is the student's name. Should ask their name, and it automatically changed for me to short answer. This is a required question. They must answer this question. And then there's a little plus sign to the side that says add question. Another important question would be what form they are in. Another required question, and you can have them type in, but I rather list it out for them. So I'm going to use a Dropbox, and my options that I'm giving them, let's say I'm using form 1s. Right, so those are the options they can select. That eliminates, students not putting in a group. Let's say you teach many groups within the same form, and they forget to put in which group they are. I mean, it just makes it easier if they can select, and it's more uniform for you, more consistent. All right, now let's actually put in a question. All right, whatever kind of question you want, and I put in the answers, and it's required. Okay, that's a multiple choice. Now, for a automatically marked quiz, you can mark multiple choice, you can mark checkbox, drop down box, right? Those can be automatically marked, and maybe the multiple choice grid. But anyways, let's stick to simple multiple choice, checkbox, and drop down. So let me try a checkbox. So I'm just typing any question. You, of course, have to type a real question. And I'm just going to give an example of how it might work. Okay, that's a checkbox. And what's the other one? Well, I already showed you how to do a drop box at the top here, but let's try it again. So I'm showing you different types of questions, right? Required. Now, these questions, though, I'm just creating questions. I haven't actually created a quiz as yet. How do you create a quiz? So there's the settings, general, limit to one response. That might be required, especially for end of term, which means that they have to be signed into their Gmail account, and they can only enter once. You can also collect email addresses if you wish. So this will tell you who logged in. Not necessarily what the person typed as their name. It can also be just a little control as to who is using that form. Edit of us after you submit, generally not. Right, that's enough there. Let's go to presentation. Show a progress bar. I usually like to see that. So as they go along, they can see how many questions I've left, how much they've done. Shuffle question order. I like this one as well. So it means my question 2 can show up as question 4 in somebody else's own. So it eliminates the chances of cheating. And then the most important one, quiz. Make this a quiz. Yes. Now we have some other options. Immediate release grade immediately after submission. So it means when a student has completed the test and they click submit, the grade will be released. So you can select that, or you can select later. I usually leave it on immediately. Respondents can see missed questions, correct answers, point values. Now, if this is a end of term, and let's say you not sure if you have to use it again for makeup, or you might not want them to see this as yet. Maybe the point values, but so let's leave it at point values and oops, right, save. Now let's see how that's changed our quiz itself. I have my required questions, but only the questions that I'm going to mark will I want to put an answer key. So I'm going to click on answer key and my question changes. I need to select my answer this time. I said select yes, and I need to choose how many points. Click done. When you come back here, then you could click on the 3 dots and shuffle the option order. So that's another control to help reduce cheating. So for one student, the options would look in one order, and another student, the options will be displayed in a different order. All right, so I just need to go through each one and put in an option point. I could put 1 point for this. Done. And shuffle. Select my answer here. Answer key. Third option. 1 point. Click done. 3 dots. Shuffle option order. All right. Let's take a look at what this preview. Click on preview. And great, so we have it shuffled. So the only thing is that your name won't be first, right? Because the questions were shuffled. So we have here the normal multiple choice. You choose one. This is a drop-down box. Next drop-down box. And notice it's saying required, so I have to select these questions. So you are forcing the student to, or I should say encouraging the student to choose an answer for each question. This one is a checkbox, which means they can select more than one answer. Now, maybe you want the name to show up first. So let's go back. Let's X that. Yeah. And we are back in our form. And what we can do is here, we want the name, we want the form, and then let's add a section. So when the student opens the form, they're going to see their name. The quiz is going to ask for their name and form, and then you have tests. Right? You have your test questions on another page. Let's call it. They call it section. Okay. All right. So let's check it out. See, name and form are on the first page, and I can click next. Well, okay. Let me choose something. Click next. And then I see my questions, right? And the submit button is there. Okay. Right. So that's our form. Untitled form is here. It automatically inserted. I want to save it with a file name, right? That's what it's at the top left-hand corner here. And when I clicked on it, it automatically took what I had as my title of my test. Now I could change my file name if I wanted to. right? Good. Now we are ready to send. Almost. I like to set up the responses one time. So click responses, click the green one to create a new worksheet, and it's linking, and the worksheet is there. So anytime a student enters submits the exam, their answers will show up here with a score automatically tallied, which is what we want. All right, let me X this, go back to questions. Let me show you actually. So I'm going to go back. I'm in my Google Drive, and the purple one is the Google form. That's the one you create and you send to students. The green one are the responses. This is where you will see the answers and the scores for all your students. All right, let's go back to the form. Good. What else we need to know? There's themes. You all could play around with that. All right, let's click send. So let's just review actually what we've done. We've created the quiz. We created in the Google Drive instead of the Google Classroom. We asked for the student's name and form. Good, right? We also shuffled questions and shuffled and options, right? Answer options. Okay. We also added an answer key. Okay, great. All right, now we want to look at distributing to the students. And I have here two ways in which to do that. We can distribute to via the Google Classroom, which is pretty straightforward. It means though that a post is created and the students can then access the quiz from the Google Classroom, right? Simple. Let's try that first. So I'm clicking send, and this middle one is for links. I'm going to copy, and it says copied to clipboard. Now I'm going into my Google Classroom, create, it could be assignment, or you could choose quiz assignment, they're both the same. I'm going to put my end of term test. It's a trial run. I'm going to click add, click link, right click and paste. Add link, and there it is. I can change the points. I can't remember how much the quiz was. What was it? 3 points, right? I'm seeing it to the back here. 3 points. I could change that to 3. Due date. It doesn't matter. You choose your due date. I'll just choose today and topics. Okay. Right. Okay, now I'm going to demo it, but just with me, just to try it out. So now I'm going to assign. And remember, you can actually create your quiz, create your post, and then schedule it for a time that you want it to appear. Now, how would you schedule? Choose a date, choose the time. Let's say 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. whatever, right? Okay. Then assign is going to be going to display on the Google Classroom immediately. So let's try that. Oh, and it's down here. Right? So I put it in assignments due, end of term trial. Good. Now, what we're looking at is the Google Classroom from the teacher's view, right? That's the Google Classroom from the teacher's view. Because as a teacher, we created a quiz in the Google Drive, created our quiz. Oh, I can close this now. And then I inserted the quiz into my Google Classroom. So let's look at it from the student's view. How would the student see that quiz? So as a student, this is my student version of that Google Classroom. I can see that a quiz trial was posted. I will also see that in my email. I will get an email with that. Click on classwork and under assignments due, I see it there. Click, and then as a student I can select on the quiz. It says to enter my name, what form I'm in, click next, select first and second option, select the, okay, let me check a wrong one, and right. Okay, now notice something. This question said select, okay, it select the third option. Now because I shuffle the options, it's not going to be in order. So you have to remember that if you have a question that needs, where the answers need to be in order, then do not shuffle the options. You can still shuffle the questions, but not the options. So the options with the three dots to every question. Anyways, let's submit, and I can view my score, right? Because I didn't allow myself to see what I got wrong, right? I'm just seeing how much points I got, and I can see where I got my points. So I'm not going to see the correct answer. And I showed you the option to allow students to see the correct answer. So any kind of quiz, you might want them to see that right away, but maybe not for end of term. All right, so that's submitted. I got 2 out of 3 points. Let's go back to my quiz and view assignment. The student could mark as done, and I tell my students to mark as done so that they make you as a teacher aware that they've submitted something, because you get an email every time a student clicks on that, right? And I can see that they got 3 points. Well, I can see as a student I got 3 points. Click back on the quiz. Let's see what happens. Well, I already did the quiz, right? I could only do it once, so I can view my score again. Okay, let's go back to the teacher's view now and see what happened. Now that my student did the quiz, let's see. View assignment. Okay, I see that one student turned it in. And I can click on well, actually, oh sorry, this is a quiz, so I can't click on this, but I see that they finished, they submitted it, right? Now I need to see their answers, and I can put it in. So where do I have that form stored? Where do I have that Google where do I have the responses? So I'm going to look up at obtaining the marks. Where do I get the marks? So remember, we're in the teacher's view. I'm in the teacher's Google Classroom, and I created my quiz in Google Drive. So I'm going to click on Google Drive, and I created a folder, and remember, the purple one is the form, the green one is the answers. So I'm going to open that, and I can see what my answers are, but more importantly, I can see the score. And I can type in the score for the student, return, and that's official. The student now can see that they got a score of 2. Right? Okay, so let's look at the student's view then. All right, let me just go back here. So go back into my assignment view, and it says now graded, view assignment, and I can see I got 2 marks out of 3. So that's official. All right. Now, another option is to distribute that link through the chat of your live session. So if you're in Zoom, Google Meet, whatever you're using, you can post the link. So let me go back to the teacher, open back this. So send, I want the link, copy. If you keep that link, store that link somewhere, and then you can post it into the chat of the live session. So you can control when it is given and who it has access to it. Obviously, who has appeared for class, right? So that can be an option if you wish. Using the schedule in the Google Classroom also controls when the test appears, and it gives the test to everyone who has access to the Google Classroom, right? But you can't paste it into the chat of the live session as well. So that's an option, and they will see the quiz the same way and submit and everything. And you will see the marks the same way within that form. So there's just one more thing I want to show you about the marks itself. Oh, actually, no. Let me go back to this quiz. After you give the quiz to students, you might want to close it off so that nobody else can see it. So let's do that. Let's go back to the teacher. And in my quiz, click on the gear wheel, the settings, quizzes. Oh, no, wrong place. No, it's responses. Sorry, my bad. Responses. Click on responses, and you will see accepting responses here is on. You can take it off so that a student can be clicking submit as much as they want. It will not be recorded. So you can actually close your quiz off. All right, now let me put it back on. Let me send it to the Google Classroom and let's see how that works. So I'm in the teacher view here, create another assignment. So click link, put the link, right, it's there. Right, so we don't matter about that right now. We just want to see how it works when it's closed. Okay, so I'm going to go into the student, and where did I put it? Oh, it's up here. So I can click on it and I can see, oh shucks, they already know that I submitted it. So I need to create another quiz. All right, let me create one really quickly. And by creating that, I can just copy this, make a copy, and there's my copy. Okay, I'm gonna put this instead. You can always edit your assignment, right? Let me get rid of that one. Put this one instead. There we go. Save that. Okay, let's go to the student view now. And let me just refresh this. Right, as a student in closing quiz, I should now be able to click on the quiz, right? So I can open it. Good. So we can see that. But let's see what happens when I close the quiz. So back in the teacher's view, back in the teacher's Google Classroom, I open the quiz and responses, not accepting any responses again. Save that. It saves automatically, right? And let's see what happens. Let me go back to the student. You saw that I was able to open it. Let's see what happens now that I closed it. If I am able to enter any information. So this is a student. click on it, and it says it's no longer accepting responses, right? So it's closed. So no one will be able to see your test after a certain time. Okay, and therefore you could use it for your makeup or whatever, right? So I believe we covered everything there. We created our quiz, we distributed it to students, and we obtained our marks. So good luck to you.